What if I told you that 85% of people never make it past their 82nd birthday? Most folks believe they'll live well into their 90. Some even plan for 100. But the truth is far more sobering. 85% of people quietly leave this world before they even turn 82. And here's the shocker. It's not because of bad genes. It's not because they got old. It's because of 5 common mistakes, small choices made every day, that slowly drained their strength, stole their clarity, and dimmed their spark, long before their final breath. These mistakes don't scream. They don't hurt at first. They whisper. They creep in quietly, until one morning you wake up and realize, you don't recognize the person in the mirror anymore. Now, what if you could change that? Today, you'll meet Franklin Moore, a 74-year-old Navy veteran from Charleston, South Carolina. He used to think he was doing just fine, walked his dog, paid his bills, tried to stay out of trouble. But beneath the surface, his body was falling apart, his mind was slipping, his world was shrinking, until a single conversation with his daughter made him face the truth. Dad, you're not really living. You're just existing. That moment shattered something inside him, but it also sparked something new. In the next few minutes, you'll follow Franklin's journey from silent decline to powerful transformation. You'll uncover the 5 silent killers that almost cost him everything. And more importantly, you'll learn how to stop them before they stop you. Because here's the thing. You don't have to be one of the 85% and your best years. They might still be ahead of you. Franklin Moore wasn't the kind of man who asked for help. At 74, he still insisted on carrying his own groceries, walking his golden retriever Rufus every morning, and fixing things around the house the old-fashioned way. A Navy veteran, a proud father, a man who had always taken care of others. But behind closed doors, things were changing. He started forgetting small things. Where he walked into the room, his knees ached more than usual. He'd get winded just climbing the stairs. But instead of slowing down to ask why, Franklin did what many men his age do. He pushed through it. He told himself it was just age. He believed that decline was normal, inevitable. Until the fall wasn't dramatic, just a slip in the garage while reaching for an old toolbox. No broken bones, just a bruised hip and a long night in the ER. But what the doctors found shocked him more than the pain. Pre-diabetes, low vitamin D, early signs of mild cognitive decline. And that's when his daughter, Maya, looked him in the eyes and said something he'd never forget. Dad, you're still here, but you're disappearing. And I'm scared I'm losing you, piece by piece. That moment cut deeper than any injury, because for the first time Franklin realized he wasn't just getting older, he was slowly fading. And that was the day everything started to change. Franklin had a cabinet in his kitchen that looked more like a mini pharmacy. 12 different bottles lined the shelves. Pills for blood pressure, pills for cholesterol, pills to help him sleep, pills to ease his knees, pills to calm his stomach, a multivitamin, an aspirin, a little something for just in case. But no one had ever looked at them all together, and Franklin never thought to ask, until one day he woke up with deep purple bruises on his arms. His legs ached for no reason. He felt dizzy standing up from the couch. Something wasn't right. A trip to his pharmacist revealed what his doctors had missed. 2 blood thinners, prescribed by 2 different specialists, plus an over-the-counter pain reliever, plus a sleep aid. All of them interacting in ways that could have caused internal bleeding, or worse. But it went deeper than that. The sleep pills made him drowsy in the daytime, so he was given something to boost alertness. That caused stomach issues, so he was given antacids. The antacids blocked nutrients, so he felt more tired, and the cycle continued. Franklin wasn't sick, he was over-medicated. With the help of a new primary doctor, he did something few patients ever think to do. He created a medication master list. He scheduled a full medication audit. He made sure every doctor spoke to each other. And most importantly, he started asking hard questions. Is this pill treating the root cause or just covering up a side effect? Could we try something natural first? What's the plan to eventually stop this? Over the next 6 months, Franklin, with full supervision, reduced his medications from 12 to just 5. His energy returned, his mind felt clearer, the bruises faded, and for the first time in years, he felt like he was in control again. Franklin thought he was eating healthy. His pantry had whole grain cereal, low-fat crackers, sugar-free drinks, and a few cans of hearty soup. He avoided junk food, didn't fry much, rarely touched dessert, but slowly, something wasn't adding up. His energy was low, his blood sugar was creeping up, he was always thirsty, and no matter how healthy he tried to eat, he just didn't feel right. Then came the trip to the grocery store with his niece, Rachel, a registered dietitian. It changed everything. Together, they started reading the labels. That whole grain bread, first ingredient, enriched white flour and high fructose corn syrup. The sugar-free soda, packed with artificial sweeteners linked to memory loss and stroke. The soup, more sodium than an entire bag of chips. Even his healthy granola bar had more sugar than a donut. Rachel explained something Franklin had never heard before. These are age accelerators. They spike inflammation, disrupt hormones, drain energy, damage memory, and worst of all, they're everywhere. But the most dangerous part, Franklin was chronically dehydrated. He mistook thirst for hunger, only drank 2-3 glasses of water a day, and loaded up on coffee and iced tea, both dehydrating. It was no wonder he felt foggy and tired. That night, he made a decision. He cleared out his pantry and adopted the 5-5-5 rule. 5 ingredients or less in packaged foods. 5 glasses of water by 5 p.m. 5 different colors of fruits and vegetables each day. He swapped processed snacks for almonds and blueberries, sugary drinks for herbal teas, white bread for real whole grains. He added water-rich fruits like cucumbers and watermelon, and began each day with a tall glass of water before coffee. Within weeks, Franklin's blood sugar normalized. His skin looked better, his energy came back, and perhaps most surprisingly, his grocery bill dropped by almost 30%. After his fall in the garage, Franklin made a quiet promise to himself. I'll just be more careful. He started avoiding the stairs, chose flat sidewalks over the park trails he used to love. He stopped getting on ladders, stopped lifting anything heavy, stopped dancing. He thought he was being smart, safe, cautious, but what he didn't realize was that he had just stepped into one of the deadliest traps of aging, the fear of falling spiral. At first, he could barely balance on one foot for more than 5 seconds. By week 4, he held it for 30. By week 12, he was doing light squats. By month 6, he hiked a trail he hadn't touched in years. But the real shift? It was mental. Franklin stopped avoiding challenges and started seeking them. He walked on gravel paths, practiced getting up from the floor, used stairs instead of elevators. He turned daily life into training, lifting grocery bags differently, standing on one leg while cooking, stretching during phone calls. 2 years later, Franklin hasn't fallen once. His posture is better, his confidence is back, and last week he danced with his granddaughter at her wedding. Without pain, without fear, without holding back. At first, Franklin welcomed the quiet. No more meetings, no more phone calls, no more neighbors popping in uninvited. Just peace, just him and Rufus, just silence. But within 6 months of retirement, that silence became suffocating. Days blurred together. He couldn't remember the last time someone had said his name out loud. He found himself talking more to his dog than to people. He stopped shaving, started skipping meals. One morning he stood in the kitchen, holding a coffee mug, and couldn't remember if he'd taken his medication or what day it was. What Franklin didn't know was this: social isolation is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of heart disease, depression, dementia, and early death. He wasn't just lonely, his brain was starving, his heart was shrinking, and his will to live was fading. It all came to a head when his daughter Maya stopped by and found him sitting in the dark. She asked, "Dad, when's the last time you laughed with someone?" He didn't answer. He couldn't. That was the moment things began to shift. Together they came up with a simple plan, what Franklin now calls the real connection method. R. Reach out daily to one friend, no matter how short the call. E. Engage emotionally, not just small talk, but real conversations. A. Attend one social activity each week. L. Laugh comedies, share memories, seek joy on purpose. He started going to the senior center on Tuesdays. At first he just listened, then he played cards, then he led the trivia night. He reconnected with old Navy buddies online, learned how to FaceTime his grandkids, and every Sunday he hosts spaghetti night for the neighbors in his building. Franklin's blood pressure dropped, his memory improved, and most importantly, he no longer felt invisible. Franklin used to laugh off his forgetfulness. He'd lose his keys, mix up appointments, forget names. "Just a senior moment," he'd say with a shrug. He believed what most people do, that memory loss is just part of aging, that it's normal, that it's inevitable, until the day he forgot his granddaughter's name. They were sitting on the porch watching the sun go down. She looked up and smiled. "Papa, tell me that story about the Navy again." And Franklin froze. Her name gone, just out of reach, and with it, a piece of himself. That night, Franklin sat alone in his recliner, terrified. Not of dying, but of slowly disappearing. He needed to know. Was there anything he could do? Turns out there was, and it started with a simple truth: the brain never stops growing. Science now proves that neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and form new cells, continues well into our 80s and 90s. The problem wasn't age. The problem was believing he couldn't improve. That belief had become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Franklin called it his mind reboot. He began each morning with 10 minutes on a brain training app. In the afternoon, he challenged himself to learn something new: Spanish, photography, even how to edit videos. At night, he journaled and read, not just novels, but books that made him think. He practiced memory techniques, visual storytelling, word association, teaching others what he'd just learned. But most surprisingly, he moved. Daily walks, Tai Chi, dancing, physical activity raised his BDNF, a brain chemical that literally grows new brain cells. In just 6 months, his memory test scores improved by 35%. He remembered names, dates, directions, and last Thanksgiving he gave a toast in perfect Spanish. That night his granddaughter whispered, "I missed you, Papa." And Franklin smiled, because this time he remembered everything. 3 years ago, Franklin Moore was quietly fading. He wasn't in pain, he wasn't in crisis, but he was slowly vanishing. Under a pile of pills, behind closed doors, inside a foggy mind. Pre-diabetic, over-medicated, isolated, stiff, sluggish, forgetful. A man who used to command a room, now afraid to take the stairs. Doctors said he had 5, maybe 7 years of manageable decline left. But Franklin didn't want to manage his decline, he wanted to fight for his life. Today that same man is unrecognizable, in the best way. At 77, Franklin takes just one medication. He deadlifts his body weight. He walks 5 miles every Saturday with his grandson. He speaks conversational Spanish. He plays chess online. He hosts weekly dinners for his community. But more than that, he wakes up excited to learn, to move, to connect, to live. His latest blood work shocked his doctor. "You have the metabolic markers of someone 20 years younger." His brain scan showed increased gray matter. His confidence? Off the charts. Franklin didn't find a miracle cure. He didn't buy expensive supplements or go to a fancy clinic. He just stopped believing that getting older meant getting smaller. He stopped preparing to die and started preparing to live. And now he says one thing to every senior he meets: don't let fear write your final chapters. Write them yourself, with strength, with joy, and with purpose. If you've made it this far, you already know the truth. It's not age that takes us, it's silence, stillness, and the belief that nothing can change. But here's what Franklin proved, what science confirms, and what your own body may be whispering right now: it's not too late. Not to move, not to think clearly, not to laugh again, to love again, to feel alive again. 5 mistakes nearly cost Franklin everything, but 5 small changes brought him back to life. So now the question is, what's the one change you'll make today? Maybe it's a walk around the block. Maybe it's calling someone you've drifted from. Maybe it's drinking 1 extra glass of water. Or finally asking your doctor to review your medications. Really review them. Whatever it is, start. Start with 1 breath, 1 step, 1 decision to no longer settle for just getting by, because your story isn't finished yet. And your best decade? It's not behind you. It's waiting for you to claim it. Leave a comment below. Tell us which of the 5 mistakes hit home the most, and what you're going to do about it. You never know. Your story might be the one that saves someone else.